defense. What a game tonight. These are the type of games I am so happy staying up for. I am exhausted watching this game. I'm sweating. You guys can see my rosy cheeks going crazy because it is hot because I'm freaking out here. What a night tonight for the Toronto Raptors. I mean everything, and I mean everything, looked like it was going the other way. We hear before the game tonight, Fred VanVleet will not play due to knee soreness and stuff, and we're like, great, that's not good. Still no OG. We all learned before what happened when Fred does not play, and you're on the second night of a back-to-back. You got Denver, you know, a damn good team. You also have, I don't know, the elevation, which always plays a factor, and the fact that the Raptors, healthy or not, have not beaten Denver in Denver since 2016. Everything's pointing the other way. And in the first quarter, by the way, the Raptors win at 127-115 or 37-30, but let's break this puppy down because I got lots to talk about. In the first quarter, Raptors offensively, they do a pretty good job finding their way through, even with no Fred VanVleet. Scotty Barnes leading the charge early. He had 16 and 7 at the half. He was dominant. And in that first quarter, Raptors, okay, they're up by a possession, 28-25 after one quarter. Not too shabby. In the second quarter, reminded me a lot of the Phoenix game where it was a lot of back and forth offense. Nobody can get stops. They end up getting that 1 point advantage after in the second quarter. And however, the Raptors do have that, the 2 point lead at the break. And you lose that quarter, 38-37. What's defense? Oh, I don't know. Someone's got to play defense. And I'm sitting here watching this game, and I'm like, look, someone's got to play D. And who's it going to be? And the first team to play solid defense for a good stretch is going to win this game. Well, in the third quarter, neither team plays defense, but they make more shots. And I don't know how many times the runouts, the easy layups, the driving, just getting to the lane, nice easy layups to the tin or throwing it down. And I'm like, the defense is looking like Swiss cheese out there. And it doesn't help that they were in the bonus with 6.5 minutes to play in the third quarter. Meanwhile, Raptors are gassed because you always hear the story, okay, well, the second night of a back-to-back, second half of a second night of a back-to-back is that much more difficult. Plus, you lose that quarter by 8. 36-28, and you're down 6 going into the fourth quarter. I mean, it is not a good start it is not a good spot to be in on the road against a good team in Denver. You know, and they start out in the fourth quarter a little bit of run. Again, they get an 8-point advantage at one point, and I'm here like, man, the Raptors are the situation, obviously second night of a back-to-back, fourth quarter, elevation. You're down 8 against a really good Denver team. They have the possible MVP on the other side. I mean, this is not looking pretty. And then DeMarcus Cousins comes into the game. And the damn guy is a fiasco. Driving, turnover, missed shot, turnover. I mean, look, give the Raptors, give Thad Young credit, give Boucher credit, give Kem Birch. Those guys battled. And especially Thad, just stripping the ball out of guys' hands like Cousins and running the floor. Raptors end up going on an 8-0 run when that all happens, and you end up being up. And I'm like, oh my God, this team is still having it. Then Jokic comes back in, and I'm like, okay, well, this might get a little hairy. The Raptors deny Jokic the ball almost on every single possession. They make someone else beat them. But even when they left Jokic, their offense got all out of sorts. Because they're like, well, if they're all over this guy. We can't get the ball to him. What do we do now? And they lost it. Raptors causing turnover. They were missing shots back into the shot clock violations. It was all over the place. And then the Raptors offense started flowing. And the crazy thing about it, it was not Gary Trent Jr. It was not Pascal Siakam. Obviously, Fred and OG weren't there. It was Scotty running the charge with Delano, right? You had Scotty, Delano, Thaddeus Young, Kem Birch, and Chris Boucher. Those are the guys that turned the tide to this game. And as I mentioned earlier, the question was going to be, who's going to dig in defensively first? And those 5 that I just mentioned, that was the answer about, I don't know, about 8 minutes left in the game. When the tides turned with Cousins being a nut job. And then Jokic comes in. And the Raptors are just already buzzing, right? They just can't miss. Delano with some great passes to Birch. Thaddeus Young with a couple and ones. And then the defense he was bringing. The rebound he was getting. I mean, it was just remarkable basketball in that fourth quarter for the Toronto Raptors. And I'll keep going with it, but they won that fourth quarter 34-16. So they get that 2-point lead, right? And we're like, okay, that's great. They end up building it up to fourth. Boucher getting it up. Like, I think Delano drove, and then Boucher gets the offensive board and the putback. He had a massive night, puts Raps up 4. Scotty gets in the paint, driving hard down the lane, through a guy, no problem. He lays it up and through. And then when the Raptors had a 7-point advantage, and then for me, this was the dagger, right? I mean, the fact that Scotty drives, goes up for the shot, it rims out, but you know Scotty, right? He's not going to give up on a play. Jokic gets the rebound. The guy's like, give me that. Give me that, big fella. And he grabs it. He kind of knocks it in his hand, picks it up. Boucher's chilling there in the corner. Scotty dishes it to him. And Boucher is 0 for 4 from distance to this point. But he fires the corner 3, drills the 3 with about a couple minutes to go, wraps up 10. And they didn't look back. Defensively, they were fine. They did a phenomenal job in that fourth quarter. I could sit here and talk for hours and hours about the way this team played in the fourth individually, and I will get to the individual players in a second. But what a fourth quarter. And the Raptors, what a statement game yet again. We thought last night was a statement game with Fred in the lineup against the best team in the West. But you can talk about arguing one of the hottest teams in the Western Conference and the Denver Nuggets. Yes, no Aaron Gordon, no Jamal Murray. We didn't have Fred. We didn't have OG. So there's that. And they haven't had Jamal Murray all season long and whatnot, so I don't even count that. The Raptors went into Phoenix and beat the best team in the West who had lost, 7 games at home all year. Now they got 8. And on the second night of a back-to-back, after such an incredibly hard game to play in Phoenix, you got to get right back at it against a Denver team who I believe didn't play last night, and even if they did, whatever. Elevation, second night of a back-to-back, you're down 8 in the fourth, and you flip a switch. Your defense intensity just rises a ton. The bench is up. And ladies and gentlemen, take it in. Gary Trent Jr. did not play the fourth quarter, and Pascal Siakam did not come into the game until like 3.5 minutes left. It tells you how dominant those 5 guys that I mentioned were. Incredible basketball tonight. This is going to be a very long video, but I needed to talk about a lot of this. Let's get to the player stats. Precious Achiuwa, wow. 15 points, 4 boards, 5 of 10 from the field, 1 of 1 from the free throw line, 4 of 6 from distance. When the Raptors needed some big-time shots in those 3 middle frames, he knocked down 4 threes. He's shooting over 50% in his last 9-10 games. It's remarkable stuff. Great game for Precious. Defensively, look, when you're facing a guy like Jokic, it's not easy because you're giving up a lot of size for Jokic, and he did the best that he could. I thought there was a couple times where, things didn't go well for Precious. We all know Precious, right? He'll make some great plays, but then he'll make some bonehead decisions because he gets a little too excited. And that's okay. That's a young player learning what he can and can't do in certain moments. And that's fine by me. Gary Trent Jr., after shooting the lights out yesterday, the lights were out tonight for Gary Trent. Nothing bad against him. Look, he had a great game last night. Gas tonight, I get it. 8 points, 3 boards, a dime shot, 2 of 13 from the field. Was 3 of 5 from the free throw line, so that's not Gary Trent Jr. asking. 1 of 6 from 3. Did get you 2 steals in the game, and obviously didn't hurt you. Wasn't a big minus in the game. So, again, Gary Trent Jr. an off night tonight, but hey, as long as he bounces back, that's all we care about, right? That's all that matters to us. Scotty Barnes. Scotty B was phenomenal tonight. 25 points, 8 boards, 10 dimes, 2 rebounds away from a triple-double. He was, what? I didn't even write down his field goal stats. Oh, would you look at that? I think he was 11 of 20, I believe I saw, from the field. And he was 1 of 3 from the free throw line, 2 of 4 from 3, 2 steals, a block, plus 15 while he was on the floor. Scotty Barnes, and as I said, being that kind of that court general in that fourth quarter run, to get the lead back. What a job for Scotty Barnes. Pascal Siakam. Again, we're talking about Scotty. We're talking about the bench, the way they played. We're talking about Boucher. Meanwhile, Pascal Siakam dropped 33, 5, and 7 on 12 of 22 shooting, was 7 of 8 from the line, 2 of 4 from distance. Had 2 steals in the game. Pascal played a phenomenal game yet again tonight. He was ridiculous. After the 10 of 24 shooting yesterday, went 12 of 22 today on 33, 5, and 7. It was ridiculous stuff from Pascal. He was absolutely incredible. And Chris Boucher, he was outstanding. Absolutely outstanding. Look, we got 1 of 4 from distance, or 1 of 5, excuse me. I don't care. I really don't. The man had 21 points, 13 rebounds in the game, 8 of 15 from the field, 4 of 5 from the field, excuse me, or from the free throw line, my goodness. 1 of 5 from 3, had 1 steal and 4 blocks, and was a plus 15. This guy did so many things. The charge he took late in the game to ice this baby, like, my goodness. The defense that he played late. The big-time shots he got late, like as I mentioned earlier. The little putback to put them up by 4. The dagger to put them up by 10. Big-time buckets in big-time moments for Chris Boucher. He was outstanding, and you could tell late in the game he was gassed. And you know what? You'll love to see it. Scotty yesterday was exhausted, basically calling up the bench in the 3rd quarter, saying, okay, I'm exhausted, I need to get off. That was basically Boucher lying on the ground there in the 4th quarter. They were dead tired, but they worked their tail off. Great job from Boucher, Siakam, Barnes on the paper. Now let's get to the guys who were not on the paper, really, but did an incredible job tonight. Did an absolutely phenomenal. As I mentioned, Thaddeus Young. Just an incredible 4th quarter all around. 9 points, 3 boards, 3 dimes. That does not suggest how he actually played in the 4th. I feel like he was all over every play. 4 of 6 from the field. 1 of 1 from the line. Missed the 1 3 he took, but he had 3 steals in the game. 2 of them off. I believe it was 2 of them off of DeMarcus Cousins. I know 1 for sure, but it might have been 1 off of him, 1 off somebody else in the paint. But either way, he was outstanding, and he was a plus 12 while he was on the floor. Thad, insane. The layup to ice the game, the couple and ones late to build the momentum back up there, to kind of get the mojo cooking for the big comeback. And Kem Birch was incredible without the ball, moving without it. And the offensive board, the tipping the ball back out to the guards, he was incredible. 8 points, 8 boards, 3 of 6 from the field, 2 of 2 from the line, was a plus 19 while he was on the floor. Kem was incredible. Absolutely incredible. Like I mentioned earlier, the defense that Boucher, Young, Birch, and even Ben, heck, those 5 guys did against Nikola Jokic in that game, or especially the latter half, denying him the ball. You don't see that very often. And the boys found a way to do it. I'm so impressed. Boucher was great. And Delano Banton, look, only had 2 points, 2 boards, but he had 5 assists in the game, was 1 of 4 from the field. That 1 make was in the 4th. At least 2 of those assists were in the 4th. Delano played a great game late. He was a plus 15 while he was on the floor. Listen to that, guys. Like, those 5 dudes that I mentioned were the key guys. Plus 15, Scotty Barnes. Plus 15, Chris Boucher. Plus 12, Thad Young. Plus 19, Kem Birch. Plus 15, Delano Banton. Oh, and by the way, Precious gave you 15 to start the game. And oh yeah, Pascal dropped 33. And oh yeah, and it's incredible. These boys worked their tail off tonight. They deserved it. We just hope they can build this momentum. All right, let's get to these team stats because holy smokes, 14 minutes. The Raptors shot 47% from the field, 39% from three-point range, 76% from the free throw line. So again, a lot of those numbers came up in that 4th quarter, but did a great job closing this game. Denver shot 55% from the field and 41% from 3 and 75% from the line. So those numbers were better than the Raptors. However, listen to this stuff. Plus 11 on the glass. I believe they were plus 14 in the offensive boards. Dominant, 23-9. Like, oh my God. Just crashing the glass. Like, that's definition right there. Plus 12 in turnovers. They had 19 turnovers. Raptors had 7. Taking care of the ball. You love to see it. And off of those turnovers, actually, you know what? Off those turnovers, Raptors were plus 23 in points off of turnovers. Ridiculous numbers there. And off of those plus 14 offensive boards, plus 19 in second chance points. They were working their tail off all night long. Points in the paint, The Raptors at one point were minus 18. In that run in the third quarter, I was down. I wanted to walk away because I was so frustrated with all the layups they were getting, all these easy ones. I come down and check my phone to check the points in the paint. We're like minus 18. We end up being plus 8. It tells you the domination in the fourth quarter. Remarkable stuff. And oh yeah, that's it for the team stats, but plus 6 in the fast break. They were literally plus in almost every category tonight. It was insane. Now, let's get to the fun stuff. Cleveland lost to the Chicago Bulls tonight. So what that means is the Raptors are now 1 game behind the Cavs for the number 6 seed in the Eastern Conference. And that's unfortunate. They had the season series. So in hindsight, you're really 1.5 back, if you want to think of it that way. And with Brooklyn idle tonight and not playing, Raptors gained that half a game. And we are now 3 up on the Brooklyn Nets. But the most important number, 3 losses difference, right? We have 3 more wins than they do. They have 3 more losses. So no games in hand. We're sitting here with 3 more wins. They have 3 more losses. We're doing just great. 1 game at a time, though. And speaking of 1 game at a time, the next one for the Toronto Raptors, another late one, this time even later, Monday night in LA. And you had those back-to-back. Well, you play the back-to-back LA teams, but not on back-to-backs, if you know what I mean. You play the Lakers. The abysmal Los Angeles Lakers this season. Now, again, that doesn't mean anything. They're still the Lakers. They're still LeBron. I don't care. You have the Lakers in LA on Monday night. It's a 10:30 tip-off, late one. But the Raptors have shown us in Phoenix and in Denver, they can contend with anybody. Anybody. Denver's one of the hottest teams in the league right now, going into tonight. Phoenix is the best team in the entire league right now. You just beat them both on their home floor. Yesterday without OG, tonight on the second night of back-to-back with elevation without Fred and OG. This team can do it. Now, the question will be, though, will Fred be available for that Lakers game? We'll have to wait and see. Now, we've seen this Raptor team go down to their opponents quite a bit, but I don't know if that's the same because you're playing the Los Angeles Lakers. I don't really know if that's a thing. But either way, if the Raptors go out there and make another statement against the Los Angeles Lakers in LA, as they've done quite a bit since LeBron has got there, it'd be another huge moment for this team. Every game down the stretch with the games getting, like, there's not many games left. We're sitting here under 20 to go. We're I believe it's under 20 games to go. And the Raptors are playing some of their best basketball. At least in the last 2 games, they've played their best basketball of the year, no doubt. Can they continue it? We'll have to wait and see. All right, so you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this long marathon of a video. I had a feeling it was going to be this long. Smack the like button. I do appreciate that. If you guys enjoyed the video and the game tonight, hit the subscribe button if you guys not already. Comment down below thoughts on the video, thoughts on the game. What'd you like? What'd you not like from today's game today for the Toronto Raptors? Look, you cannot like the defense for the first 3 quarters, and that's where I was at. But you got to love the fourth quarter D. Love it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Who is your MVP from tonight's game? If I see an MVP comment, I'll know you got to the end of the video, and I applaud you for it. Let me know your thoughts on that. I don't know who that guy give it to, man. I want to say Pascal for 33, 5, and 7, but Scotty led the charge in the fourth, and I ended up at 25, 8, and 10. However, Boucher was incredible late in the game. The entire bench unit and Scotty, like, I don't know what you want to do there, but let me know in the comments below. Twitter link is down below, so follow up, send me all that great stuff. The Instagram link is also down there, so follow up there if you guys have not done so already. And I will talk to you guys Jenny's Edition, whenever they decide to do something else. If not, I'll talk to you guys on Thursday. Jays Edition, you know, spring training preview, but honestly right now I'm not even thinking about the Jays. Leafs Edition tomorrow, they play Buffalo in the Heritage Classic. It starts at 4 o'clock. The video will be up a little bit later though, because I will be out and about tomorrow. And girlfriend's dinner, birthday dinners with the rent, so you know what I mean. Got to go out there and support. It's gonna be a lot of fun. And so that video will be uploaded a little bit later than usual, but it will be uploaded tomorrow night for sure. And as for the Toronto Raptors, look, I'm not too sure how it's going to play out, guys. I got a little surprise for the girlfriend for until Thursday, starting on Monday. So I'm not sure how videos are going to go. I'm gonna see what I can do to get videos out there for you on those nights, but it might be a little tricky. But I will do my best. Lakers, Raptors in LA on Monday night, 10:30 tip-off. Thank you guys so much for listening and watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I need a glass of water. We'll talk to you guys then.